All right, today is Duffle Day, and this is the Evergoods TD35. Just got mine. It is super cool. We're gonna go into the details on the TD35 just to show you how awesome and unique this bag is. And because it's Duffle Day, we're gonna talk about this one first, and then we're gonna talk about packing cubes. And then the third part of this video is we're gonna compare this TD35 to some other fantastic duffel bags, kit bags, the decks, and this 1733 duffel all together side by side, just to tell you maybe which one would be better for you. They're not all the same, and it's not exactly clear cut. There's probably a favorite or two in here for me, but we'll get to that at the third part. But let's get to the TD35 from Evergoods. All right, let's get to it. This is the TD35 Transit Duffel 35 liter. Hopefully they make a bigger one later on, but this size is, for me, 35 liters, the sweet spot for single bag travel, or in really an accessory mode, this one would be perfect too for longer travel as well. And I've been a big fan of Evergoods for a long time. I've reviewed most of their bags, I think almost all of the bags. I still have one to go. In fact, when I ordered this, I also got the CTB 35, so that one will be coming up. I'm actually going to compare the CTB 35 to the GR2 34 liter in a future video. But this one is the Duffle. Totally surprised that they came out with this. And if you like Evergoods awesomeness, you'll see a lot of the standard Evergoods features in this bag. There's aluminum bars in here. Cool. Laptop compartment. Awesome. Solution dyed. Awesome. 840D on this one. Awesome zippers. Just a very solid build. And some attention to detail that really is just really done very well by Evergoods. So let's get into outside features, inside features of the TD35. And then, like I said, we'll talk packing cubes. I've got the packing cubes all packed. We'll talk about the Evergoods Transit packing cube 8 liter compared to some of my favorites as well. I was going to do a separate video on packing cubes. We're just going to do it all together because it all fits in the TD35. So this is, again, 35 liters. It is, maybe it looks a little boxy, but it is, again, I think it allows it to pack everything very nicely. Now, 2 top handles and then a detachable shoulder strap, which is very, very nice, very, very cool, and it does attach to the same attachment points that you see here on the ends. I carried this around a little bit. It is nice, very adjustable, and strap keepers on this. So I'm a big fan of this. Not super uber padded like you'd seen on other ones like the kit bag from GoRuck, but it is very, very nice and feels very nice. I think it would be all day comfortable if you were out and around town with this one. Now, 2 top handles, and these attachment points, one on the front and the back, are how this thing sort of cinches down, and then you detach it, and then you can use this for the shoulder carry mode. So that's pretty cool. Definitely like that. 2 external pockets, 1 on each side. And there are layers of foam on both sides, so it is super protective of whatever you put in there. On one side, we just have the laptop sleeve. No divider like you've maybe seen in a couple of other designs. No red little tab over here. This just fits. I have the 13-inch MacBook Pro. This would fit the 14 and probably up to the 16. It is nice, super sizable, the entire side of this bag. Now, the more you pack it out, the more pressure it's going to put on the side, but it is going to hold its shape pretty nicely for you to go in and out with your laptop on the go. The front pockets, where they have also this loop panel, you can put your morale patch of choice. This one happens to be from One Quack, Live with Purpose. And this pocket here has admin, so you can put various things in here. It isn't, it's pretty much almost full depth. This is where I have my iPad mini, and then the other little pockets that are in here are perfect for field notes. There's a center pocket knife one, unless you're going to the airport. Don't leave your pocket knife in there. There's a room for maybe your AirPods, and what else do I have in here? Oh, just like a memory card holder. All nice little dividers, keep it sort of in place and not moving all around, and a key loop for your keys, flashlight, some other little thing that you want secured and not flying out there. So that's super cool, super nice. Love this design, and I love the fact that you have two on-the-go, quick, easy access pockets. The only negative is maybe there's really no dimensions, so it's got to be really flat. You can't kind of pack it out. You couldn't put another little tech pouch in there. It's just not going to work unless you don't have a lot of stuff on the inside, but you probably do. Now, the attachment system, like I said, big, awesome YKK zippers, not AquaGuard. You know, this system allows you to carry it. But the other feature of that, and now that we're going to dive into the inside, is it allows you to sort of overpack this bag and then use this to sort of compress. So these are compression straps as well as shoulder attachment points. But in this compressed mode, man, it just hold its shape, super awesome. Now let's open it up. And well, first of all, before we open it up, you can leave this thing totally cinched down, access the inside briefly. Now you've got some bars that are on either side of this opening to sort of help you hold the side open while you access things. If it's totally packed out and compressed, you're really gonna have to undo this, and then the geometry of this opening just allows it to open up, you know, sort of a doctor's medical bag, old style. So now it's more square opening, which again, for the kit bag from GoRuck was one of my negatives, is you really just hard time looking at everything that's inside the bag. Not so with this Evergoods TD35. Now inside, you know, you could go through a million permutations of what you can pack inside this bag. So in here I have a range of packing cubes that just really, it's just, you know, you can fit it in any just way you want it to. I have the Evergoods packing cube, I've got the Peak design, and I got a GoRuck one in there because we're going to talk packing cubes in the part 2 of this video. But there's, again, you can pack it any just way you want it. And I have the medium-sized packing cubes from Peak Design. I've got 2 of the small ones, and these are all widthwise, not sort of lengthwise. Then I have another Peak Design. Then on stacked, double stacked, I've got the Evergoods 8-liter size, and then I've got the 10-liter full from GoRuck. So I've got tons and tons of stuff. Yes, you can fit the Cap 2 in there. I mean, anything's gonna fit widthwise because they're all, generally speaking, the same dimensions. So fit in there any way you want it. Dop kits, shoes. I mean, this thing is just a wide open capacity space. Fit all of your stuff in here. Super, super cool. One internal pocket in the front, and it is not super deep. So really it's passport, keys, AirPods, something inside that you want a little more secured than having it on the outside of the bag, and it is accessible. Nothing on the other side. Now on either side are these 2 expandable pockets. I say expandable because the way they've designed them, there's a little bit of dimension built into it for them to expand, or when you're not using them, to kind of push them to the outside. So they can keep things divided if you don't have a lot of stuff in there, or you can just not use them and put them on compressed against the outside of the bag. I think these are perfect for avalanche. I think they're perfect for a Cap 1, so you can slide that in the side. They're perfect for your water bottle if you want to put one in there, and the Yeti fits, you know, nice in there. In fact, you can put the Yeti next to or with the Cap 1 on one side, and this thing will all cinch down. So 18-ounce Yeti, perfect size for just about anything, but it's also the perfect size for inside the TD35, if you ask me. So that's it. That's the inside features. Love these bars because you can open this thing totally open. This is a perfect single bag option just because the way everything packs out. Has all the features you want. Light gray interior so you don't lose stuff in the bottom. Holds its shape when it's completely empty. Shoulder strap option. I don't need the backpack straps. Some companies like to go that route. I just don't need the backpack. If I was gonna want a backpack, I'd use a backpack. And if I want this bag, I'd want this style. So I don't really need a lot of the versatility that we see in other designs. Now, you could remove those aluminum bars. So if you didn't like that, you can take them out. Or if they bent, I suppose, you could take those out as well. So there you go, cool. Now, let's pack it up and get to the next part of the video. just a couple of minor details that I hadn't talked about yet. One is these handles, and of course mine are brand new, so they're kind of wonky right now. But the way these are sewn are sort of angled to the middle. So in theory, every time you go to grab this, you don't need any sort of other keeper on there. It's just going to keep everything where you want it. And I think there's enough material in here that allows this thing to be completely comfortable and easily grabbed, but yet they're still sort of out of the way. They're just not intrusive. I think it's the perfect mix of features there. Also, they've got little loops in here that they do typically on their handles, so you can put a little carabiner in there. You can actually lock this sucker together if you wanted. Just really cool, like those designs. The other little thing is, when we see the other bag side to side, the fact that this one has the laptop on the side is kind of a win. And in other designs, you'll see a sleeve, because it goes into backpack mode, that's on the bottom. And as I've said in my review videos of some of those others, when you slam this thing on the ground or drop it, you're basically dropping all this heavy stuff on top of your laptop. Not optimal for electronics. The fact that it's on the side is great. That feature allows this to transition from not just an accessory bag, in my opinion, but also to a great single bag option, because it has enough capacity in it, enough organization for you to keep all your other little things and be on the go. It's just a different style. If you prefer a backpack, then go backpack style. But if you want enough capacity yet still have the ability to bring electronics and stay organized and have a water bottle, this is potentially one of the best solutions that I've seen. So to me, it's a big home run. More about the final thoughts as we compare it to the other bags. But let's get to packing cubes. You could do your own video on packing cubes, but I'm going to loop it all into this because they pack in everything. So the packing cubes that I've got here, I've got the Evergoods 8 liter. This is the Go Ruck at 10 liters. And I've got the small and the medium in terms of the Peak design. Now, I really gravitate to the Peak design most of the time because of one important feature. So let's talk about that first before we go into a direct comparison of these two very similar designs, as if they were designed by the same person at one point or the other. Now, the advantage to the Peak design is they just fit flatter. So they fit flatter, so really, it depends on how you want to pack. At one point, do you like flatter designs? Then you might want to just stick with the Peak designs. If you are more of a backpack packer, or if you just want some more cubic designs, then you might want to go full into these style of packing cubes. So they're drastically different in terms of geometry and how you would pack them. Now, the advantage to these two, I would say, for me, is the fact that on the back of them, you have this sort of dirty laundry compartment. There's a flap of material on the inside that sort of goes one way or the other in the total volume of this bag. So as you wear things, take things out, wear a t-shirt, get it dirty, then you put it in the bottom. So the volume just shifts from one side to the other. It eliminates the need for a dirty laundry bag, whether it's just a plastic bag or some other bag you carry with you to put all your dirty laundry in there. This just eliminates that because you just use the same thing. It goes from clean to the dirty, and then when you're done, you just unzip it, put it in your laundry bin at home. So for me, that's the big advantage of these. That's why I've gotten several different colors from Peak Design, just because I use them for different things and I use them all the time. These are the two sizes that I use the most. And again, you can just put whatever you want in it, and then it just shifts to the other side as it gets dirty. And they fit and pack in just about everything that I have. Different than these two bags, and it's just a different philosophy in terms of packing, so use whatever is best for you. Now these two bags are essentially the same design with some different feature differences, and there's subtle. One might be better for you than the other. Now at the top, one is 2 liters bigger, so if you want the bigger size, you would go with a Go Ruck 10 liter. This is 8 liters. That's in the name. Now they both have handles, just a little bit different style. They both have a loop panel on the front, put your patch of choice. They both have the same sort of, well, there's lots more tabs on the Evergoods, but they have one zipper and it clamshells open. So let's do that. Let's get the Peak designs out of the way and open these suckers up. Go Ruck, Evergoods. So what's the difference? Well, you can see the zipper situation is pretty much one of the main differences. They have their standard Evergoods external zipper over here. On the GoRuck, it's just they use different colors of cord on the zippers. Black for the outside, gray for the interior on one side, and then red on the other. They also have on the Evergoods, they've got a gray on one side, orange on the other. Just in terms of the zipper style, the GoRuck one has two zippers. So you can open and shut this thing. You can move the zippers around on either side, whichever one you want. That's cool. The Evergoods only has one zipper on each, so you're really stuck with one or the other. Now they are opposing when they're fully closed, so you're not going to get that confused. Potentially you could have these on the same side, and now you know what zipper are we opening. So it could be a little more confusing. So you may not like the versatility over here versus the fact that they're only going to be on one spot on the Evergoods. So that's just a subtle difference between the two. You might one might work for you better. It doesn't really matter to me. For me, I sort of prefer the ability to open on one end or the other, and that's just the way it is for me. Now the Evergoods zippers go more on the inside than they do on the GoRuck one. They're only slightly interior, so there's a potential for these cords to get caught on the exterior zipper. Whatever. Inside of these is no different. They're just the different dimensions. They're both just open capacity, hold a ton of clothes. Now, there's another subtle difference when it comes to the interior of the Evergoods one, and that is this interior zipper is sort of elevated. So the interior part of it is bigger than it is together, which is kind of awkward to say, but basically you can overstuff these, and then when you're zipping it together, the zipper sort of compresses this back together so you can hold more on the inside. So that's, you kind of see it, kind of the gray is pushed up above the zipper area, and then when you zip it together, it all comes together and closes. So that's super cool. I like that design. I like that little feature. It's just a little subtle thing that they did. So when you zip this together, boom, it's just more compressed. There is an external pocket on the Evergoods, and it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't go on the inside at all, so it's just its own thing. What would you put in there? I don't know, because you're not going to put socks or underwear in there because there's just not enough dimension. Maybe it's another place to hide passport, wallet, some other stuff that you want to put in there thin. I just haven't figured out what I would put in there, but that's just another feature you don't see in the GoRuck. So capacity, zipper philosophy, really the only two main differences between these two. And like I said a little bit earlier, there's these nice little tabs everywhere, an anchor point when you're going to run the zipper on these things that you don't have on the GoRuck. But anyway, both very similar. Again, just little different dimensions. How you pack it, really, I mean, you can just jam these things in everywhere. So it's just kind of a, what do you prefer? Very, very close in terms of dimensions and functions on these two packing cubes. All right, that wraps up packing cubes. Let's get to a general comparison, get back to the Duffles to see which one, feature-wise, might be for you. All right, so let's compare the TD35 to some other Duffle favorites. First up, let's compare it to the GoRuck. I'll put prices down here. You can see which one is, this one's a little bit cheaper. This, of course, this is the Heritage build. The regular one is a little bit cheaper. Their availability on these sort of varies. Now, one thing I like about the kit bag from GoRuck is its versatility. I've used these things in a range of ways, from packing to, honestly, my fly fishing gear all fits in one of these. Gym mode, you name it, there's just infinite number of uses for the kit bag. Now, one thing I don't like is the opening of it. It's just hard to get in and out of it because it just opens with one simple zipper and you can't go full open. There's not a ton of other organization. There's external pockets on this, and it is, again, pretty simple. Capacity wise, this one's a little less, 32 liters versus the 35 liters. It just definitely fits and looks bigger than just that little bit of difference in volume. I think this one's just a simple design. This one has all the organization and ability to keep things in it. So that's just how they compare. Still really useful. I've got a ton of these things. I use them in a bunch of different ways. That's the kit bag. Next, let's talk decks. Now 30 liters versus 35 liters. This is a Black Ember Dex. Did a video of this one. I'll post the link to that up here. There's a lot of similarities with this between how it cinches down from the front, how it opens full kimono, how you got these top handles, which these kind of cinch in. Got compression straps on here, side pockets in different places. So you just got a lot of the similar features, at least at first glance. Now, if you watch the full video, they make this one on a 30 and a 45. It's got a ton of other sub pockets in there. You can go backpack mode. The laptop compartment's on the bottom. Strap keeper here, so you can put it on top of a rollerboard. So the Dex is very super cool as a single bag option as well. For me, it's a little small. I like the 35 liter for most travel. The 30 liter is really cool too. A lot of awesome features with this one, especially since you can go backpack mode or you can put the straps on the inside. So the Dex is definitely a strong competitor in terms of feature layout. This one's more on the complicated end of things. Again, the edge for me, the fact that I can put the laptop on the side is really the advantage over here on the TD35 compared to the Dex from Black Ember. Price, whew, definitely in the side of the TD35 because the Dex is a lot more complicated, a lot more features in there. So comparatively, the price is also a lot higher. Now this, the 1733 Duffle, this is in the Huckberry color configuration. Link down in the description. You can still get these. This one, although expensive because of the material, the dimensions are very similar. In fact, this is a 37 liter bag compared to 35. Straps and stuff are all awesome on this. Now, there's not nearly, you're paying for the materials on this one. It doesn't have the same pocket configuration that you would see in an Evergoods. The advantage to this one, first of all, snaps on the straps. That's super awesome. The advantage to this one, again, it lacks a lot of the features in terms of pockets, but the fact that you can just open it up and go to work is just super awesome. And the fact that you can just leave that thing open and just kind of go about your business and see all your packing cubes and go here and do that stuff. This one has just become, honestly, if I had to go before I got this TD35, the 1733 Duffle for me has been my favorite. Of course, buttery smooth zippers on this one and some little side pockets. It's just really awesome. And I can't say enough about this one. This was my go-to if I just want an accessory bag with the shoulder straps and the ability to live out of it. This one, for me, does better than the kit bag. A little pricey, again, you're paying for the materials, but it's got all the capacity you want. Big fan of the 1733. So that's it. That's how this one compares to some of my other favorite duffel bags. I'm gonna take this out on a few more trips and see how it works. I just got it, but I love the features. I love how this thing all comes together. I think it's gonna be a definite winner for single bag travel or as an accessory, because I can put a lot of my other awesomeness in here, I can take something smaller. I can maybe even take the Mystery Ranch bag or some of my other smaller awesome backpacks, because I got this as pretty much the hauler of all the other stuff. So big fan of this, love the features. I think they did an awesome job. Super cool, super excited to put more time on this bag because of just the way it is. Now, yeah, it's a little more boxy, but it looks super cool, looks awesome, and I'm a big fan. So that's it. That's what I think about the TD35 from Evergoods. That's what I think about packing cubes in summary, real brief. And it's what I think about the TD35 compared to some of my other favorite duffel bags. So if you like this video, you like this comparison, give it a thumbs up, helps other people see these videos. I am trying to get more people outdoors, trying to help you find the right vessel for you to get outside, go on a trip, go to the outdoors, do something, get out of your comfort zone. These are the tools to get you there. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. You're gonna wanna see what's happening next. Got so much on my plate. I really am struggling to get it out in time. I'm trying to do my best. But in the meantime, get outside, enjoy the weather. It's summertime. We'll see you in the next video. All right, today is Duffle Day. And today is Duffle Day. And we just, don't say we, it's just me. And then I'm gonna compare this to some of my favorite duffel bags of recent history, which is not that often. And then we're gonna compare this to my favorite packing cubes. I happen to have a mix of packing cubes from GoRuck. I have the Evergoods packing cube right up here on the top. And then I have the, which ones do I have?